The weeks and months leading up to my dad's admission were really, really tough months. He had bowel cancer, which had spread to his brain, and every day just seemed to be a further descent into the illness, and it was so hard watching him deteriorate, but also watching my mum struggle with the increasing demands of his illness. It wasn't really until we got to that space with my dad being so ill that we realised just how critical a role and how critical a function the hospice plays in the local community. From the moment my dad was admitted, we just saw a total transformation in the way in which he was cared for. And importantly for me, I saw a massive transformation in the dynamic between my mum and dad, and also between myself and my dad, because all we really had to do was hold his hand and let him know how much we loved him, as the amazing staff here called on their expertise and their experience and their professionalism and did everything they could do to make him as comfortable and as cared for as possible. I think it definitely made the last few weeks of his life easier for him, and undoubtedly easier, if there is such a way of describing it, for my mum and for myself. The few months after Dad passed away were obviously very difficult. I was really struggling to sleep, I was feeling really anxious. I realised I needed to do something to try and help myself cope with my grief. So I decided to enter for the Loch Ness Marathon, and I decided to set myself a target of £10,000. I understood just how much money the hospice relies on in terms of charitable donations to function every year. I believe it's about £1.5 million. And I sort of did a very crude calculation and came to the conclusion that for the 27 days that my dad was in the care of St Vincent's, it would have cost approximately £10,000. I naively thought a hospice was a place you just associated with death, and I think because of that association I've probably always been a bit nervous to be near one, and I can only say, coming through our experience with St Vincent's, it was a transformative experience for us in terms of dealing with a critical life-limiting illness. But the moment that St Vincent's came to our rescue and my dad had a place here, I could see that actually it was a place that he could live and he could be comfortable and he could be cared for. A massive plea from me to anyone out there who's listening to this and thinks they can maybe do a little bit to help me on my mission to raise £10,000 for the hospice. Hospices rely so much on charitable donations, be that from individuals or groups of people or communities coming together. This really is a community facility. No donation is too big or too small to help me on my mission, and I'm really excited to see where this fundraising effort can take us.